Okay, let's get the parts we need for step 12. And step 12 is putting the lifeboat on, the smokestack, gun tubs with the guns, and a few other miscellaneous pieces. So let's get all those parts now. Here are all the parts for step 12. Most of them have been pre-painted. Some are going to need a little touch-up, but I'll probably do that after I glue them in place. We've got a couple of gun tubs. We got the guns themselves, the lifeboat, the cabin with the smokestack coming out, and a few other miscellaneous pieces. So I'm going to put it on pause while I get these prepared to put on the ship.
Wait on a second here. Face it to the sunlight. Yep.
The thing about these gun tubs is that they're supposed to be like this. Supposed to be like this. Well, this is how they came in the kit. That opening there is way too narrow. It's supposed to be more open like this. This one's close to it. The guns themselves are supposed to fit into these holes on the deck, but they don't. So we have to open up those holes more.
See if I can bust this out before the guys actually the barber gets here.
Alright, let's see if that does it. It's almost there. this up a little more. I think this is just about right. If we put some glue in that, it'll slide right in there. All right, that one went in. Let's do the next one here. Looks good. There's the two guns on. Next, we're going to put this goes right there. Let's see how that fits. That fits good. And then this one we're going to trim a little bit here. Take some of this flash off. There we go. Let's see how this fits. Good. They both fit good. All right. Put a little glue in this one. Put a little glue in this one. Oops. There we go. This just goes on top of that, like that. But we'll let these glue a little bit more before we lay that on there. Okay, there's one of the gun tubs on. This other one is misshapen pretty bad. I don't know if I can straighten it out. It's too closed up. I think I'm going to have to temporarily glue something temporarily in there to hold it apart. Not sure what though. That's not enough. Since this gun tub was too narrow, I cut a piece of plastic to fit the opening and placed it in there. And now I will glue it in place. And then when it's all glued in place, I just have to remove that piece of plastic. And as long as the glue holds, it'll be good to go. Okay, step 12 is now done. I did some touch-up painting here and there, but there's step 12. Next, step 13, 14, and 15 are a few more little items that we're going to put together and put on the deck. So, let's do that. I completed steps 13, 14, and 15 and placed those assemblies on the ship. There's the 50 caliber gun. There's the, I think these are floats. I think. It's supposed to be floats anyway. There's some kind of a motorized winch right there. Okay, so what we see here on the ship right now is up to step we're through step 15 and we've started on step 16. And step 16 we have to put some of the Oerlikons, the guns, right there. Two of them, some ammunition boxes, a flagstaff, couple of hose reels. So these parts right here, represented in step 16, we will finish putting all these on now. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. So we're going to take a couple of the guns off of this sprue. These guns right here. Take a couple of those off. And right here is this is the flagstaff right here. We'll take that off too. And there's a couple of these cable wheels or something here. And so we have gone through step 16. The only thing I have not done on step 16 at this point is put the flagstaff on the bow of the ship, because it sticks up. It sticks up a lot. It's a long, tall one, and I know if I put it on there, I'm going to snap it right off. So that'll be one of the last things I put on. That and the propellers. So yeah, step 16. That's as far as I'm going to go today. And we'll see you next time I turn on the camera. And that will be step 17 and 18 coming up next. So now I'm starting the build process of the main superstructure of this ship. And we're starting with these 3 pieces right here. And superstructure. And they want you to put together step 17 first, and then 18 is gluing step 17 down onto the deck. However, I'm going to not do it quite like that. I found the other part of the superstructure that glues onto the top of that. And so I'm going to glue this bottom section onto the top. That way I'll be able to glue it and line it up much, much better than if I try to do it the other way around. So we'll do it that way. I have it lined up here, and I'm just going to start applying the glue and closing up these little seams right through here where the 3 parts come together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you when I get back. Let me just show you what I've done here. This is the 3 parts that I chose not to put together separately on their own, but I chose to mount it on the underside of this top superstructure platform, upper deck part here. The reason I did that is I wanted to make sure this thing lined up properly with this top portion, and also that the bottom part of this lines up with the deck on the ship. And we're going to let this dry really well. let it all dry and harden up. Then we're going to see how it fits to the deck itself. So I'll come back once this glue is all nice and dry. Okay, now we get to see if this is going to fit on here. And I can't tell on this other side if it's fit. It looks like it is, yeah. There we go. It fit. So we'll just touch a little glue down in here where it meets the deck, and it looks, just by looking down on it like this, looks like it's lined up pretty good. So what I'm going to do is take my glue, touch it to a few places where it's meeting the deck, and that'll secure it. Then we can add some other parts to this. The next few steps that we do. Bring it around this side. Add some glue right there. There we go. Press down on it slightly, gently. There we go. Okay, there it is. It's glued to the deck. There's the beginning of the main superstructure of this ship. And we will come back to that momentarily and let this glue totally harden up. Make sure this is firmly attached before we try and attach more parts onto this. So we'll see when I get back. Alright, so they want you to start putting on a few little odds and ends and some pieces onto this now. Looks like some ammunition boxes, one of the anti-aircraft guns. There's a ladder that's going to go on the life rafts. And yeah, so we'll gather up those little pieces and put them on. And they're going to go in various places on this thing. So let's go ahead and find those. And we'll start gluing them on. So I don't know how I overlooked this, but I just realized that this portion of this upper deck needs to be the same color as the level deck, and it's too late to use the airbrush, so I'm just going to paint it by hand, and it should turn out just fine. Not going to notice any real problem. So let's go ahead and paint this thing by hand with the 1/4" brush, whatever size this is, 3/8, I'm not sure. But it's just a matter of laying the paint down. Fairly thin coat. And this paint will dry pretty quickly, so I don't have to worry too much about it staying wet for a long time. looks to be about it. Okay, so I glued together this top superstructure portion with the has the observation platform on top, and it's going to glue onto the top right in here, like so. So that'll be the next thing I do, and then we have to add some parts in there. Yeah. Now that the bulk of the superstructure is together, I need to do just a little bit of touch-up painting here and there. So I'll go ahead and do that right now with my brush. The next thing we're going to do is start working on the mast. It's going to go right in here, kind of like that. Let's see if we can get the camera to look at it better. Yeah, that's a little better anyway. There's the mast. And that's going to glue in right there. And it will have some other little supports added onto it. And if I so choose, I'll put some rigging on it and maybe even a flag. And that will be in step 24. And when step 24 is done, that'll be the last step. So, yeah, there's the mast. And let's go ahead and glue it in. And bring it in a little bit closer so I can see it better. Something like that. just plug it in there. Rest up against the deck supports here. And we want to make sure it's straight. It's not. It's a little crooked, so we'll go this way with it a bit. See how that looks. That looks pretty straight right there. Okay. We'll go ahead and leave it like that. Let it dry. And move it over just a touch. This has got to go in there like that. And then this goes like that. Give it a look-see. It's off a bit. Well, that's pretty good right there, though, I think. Yeah, let's just leave it alone. Let the glue dry. Then we have a few more supports to put on it. 1, 2, 3 more supports to add on. And then a mast that's going to go up there on the top. Let's see, let's turn this just a bit that way. Okay, it's about as good as it's going to get. Alright, I have the main mast on. The supports, the boom. Just about all the touch-up painting's been done. I have these parts left to put on. 2 anchors and the cross mast still to go on. And once I get all that on and maybe do a touch more touch-up painting, and once it's all dried and the glues are all set, I will take it outside and give it a coat of clear. So this model kit of the USS Hazard looks good from a distance, arm's length as they say. Don't look too close. Mainly because the parts are not the highest quality parts there. Lots of mold seams where some of the molds of these parts went together offset. But everything fit together pretty well for an older Lindberg kit. And there's a few decals that need to go on after the clear coat. So anyway, there it is. Really close to being done now. Okay, so here is the finished model. Everything is painted and glued in place. The only thing left to do is put the decals on and the rigging. And I will be doing that next. But the first thing I'm going to do is put a coat of clear over the entire thing to protect and seal in the paint. And then when that is done and dried, I will put the decals on. Then I will give it another coat of clear to protect the decals. After that, the rigging will go on. And so here we have the Minesweeper all finished. An old Lindberg kit that was okay quality. Didn't have real serious fit issues. It lacks in detail, and some of the things are out of scale on it, like these guns here. Pretty sure they're out of scale. Maybe not, though. I'm not positive about that. I can tell you that the crew figures they give you are way out of scale to this ship. Let's see if I put one right here next to this gun. Let's see how small he is. Put him next to this gun. You can see it. I mean, there's no way he can even shoot that gun. He's so small. Here we are. You know, either the guns are way too big or the men are way too small. I'm not sure. They did an okay job of molding them, though. Anyhow, there's the ship done. Put real basic rigging on it. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was pretty simple. It didn't take very long to build this. So I hope you enjoyed the build process of the USS Hazard in 1/125 scale by Lindberg Models. An old classic Lindberg kit. And yeah, check it out if you want a simple, fun kit to build. And if you're willing to overlook some of the scale problems and molding issues. Every single piece basically had mold seams all over it. You can see it in these guns right here. If you look, yeah, right there, you see that? A lot of mold seams on all the parts. Injection marks. I filed down some of it, or sanded down some of it. But, you know, from a distance, it looks okay. So there you go. She's all finished.